The United States is ready to embrace peace.
The president is backing off from more military force in the conflict with Iran. I'm Jade Balexa. Coming up, we have reaction to his briefing from lawmakers.
Also tonight, I speak with a local college professor about the president's response to Iran. I'm Kay Cornell. Up next, why he says Trump took the right approach. Plus,
some big changes to come in downtown Madison. I'm Alex Lovin. Coming up tonight, we discuss how an old schoolyard and its surrounding area will be transformed into a big shopping center, plus a big hotel.
And we are following breaking news out of Jackson. Jackson police have now identified a second suspect in the Medgar Evers Boulevard shootings that happened on New Year's Eve. 33-year-old Ryan Chandler is wanted for aggravated assault and shooting into an occupied vehicle. 2 children were shot, 1 in the head, and were taken to the hospital in critical condition. If you know where he is, call Crime Stoppers.
And another suspect in a deadly New Year's Eve shooting is being charged with murder and shooting into an occupied dwelling. 29-year-old William Hampton is now in custody, and investigators found at least 2 firearms at Hampton's home. 4 others are now facing charges in connection to the shooting. 24-year-old Chateria Myers was killed when a bullet went through her bedroom wall and hit her. Her funeral is set for Saturday.
And also breaking tonight, Jackson police are investigating a woman they say was stabbed in the upper body by her boyfriend. It happened at a motel on I-55 at 6 p.m. Officers say the boyfriend ran away from the incident. The victim was taken to a hospital and is reportedly in stable condition at this time. If you have any information on the suspect, call JPD.
Well, good evening. Welcome, everyone. I'm Byron Brown.
And I'm Melanie Christopher. Thank you for joining us here on 12 News at 10.
First at 10, tensions between Iran and the United States continue to boil after a missile strike aimed at American troops fired by Iran last night.
12 News' Jade Balexa joins us now from the newsroom with more on how the president is responding. Jade?
Yes, Melanie and Byron, 24 hours after Iran launched missile attacks targeting U.S. troops, the White House is signaling a de-escalation of tensions. And instead of more military force, he suggested more sanctions may be coming.
The United States is ready to embrace peace with all who seek it.
The president says he won't respond with military force after Iran's missile attacks on military bases in Iraq. A top Pentagon general says Iran intended to kill U.S. personnel and credits a U.S. warning system with preventing loss of life.
All of our soldiers are safe, and only minimal damage was sustained at our military bases.
Despite threatening for days to retaliate with force if Iran targeted Americans, one day after the attacks, the president urged restraint.
The fact that we have this great military and equipment, however, does not mean we have to use it.
Instead, the president said he'll impose additional economic sanctions on Iran and asked NATO to get involved. In an interview with CBS News' Nora O'Donnell, the vice president says the U.S. has eliminated a threat to its national security.
Worried. Are we safer now?
I believe we are safer today than before President Trump ordered our military to take out Qasem Soleimani.
Congress got a briefing from the White House. Democrats say they need to hear more evidence that there was a threat. Some Republicans also broke ranks and criticized the White House.
And I would say that the briefing was incredibly thin on facts. And to the extent that they provided facts, in my judgment, they did not support any claim of an imminent threat that would justify the actions they've taken with respect to eliminating Soleimani.
What I found so distressing about that briefing was that one of the messages we received from the briefers was, do not debate, do not discuss the issue of the appropriateness of further military intervention against Iran. And that if you do, you'll be emboldening Iran.
Kentucky Republican Rand Paul also said he found the briefing less than satisfying. The president spent last night and this morning huddling with his national security team in the Situation Room. While officials believe the situation has been contained for now, there are still big questions about the long-term strategy when it comes to Iran. 12 News' Kate Cornell spoke to a local professor for perspective on where things could be headed. Kate?
Jade, the current conflict with Iran has its roots decades ago. And as you said, President Trump announced this morning that he will be issuing powerful sanctions towards Iran. These sanctions will be designed to make a statement without biting back too hard. I spoke to Dr. Glenn Antizzo at Mississippi College today, who says that the president's response is appropriate.
I think over the last 16 to 20 years, they've gotten this feeling that they could pretty much get away with anything, and the United States wouldn't do anything to confront them. Now with the Trump administration, they're going to have to recalibrate their expectations for what they can and cannot get away with.
We have a poll on our Facebook page about these sanctions. Let us know how you feel about this president's actions. And for the very latest on the Iran conflict, go to our website, WJTV.com. Now back to you, Melanie and Byron at the desk.
New tonight, Brandon police are looking for the suspects in a series of auto burglaries. The burglaries took place between December 22nd last year and January 6th of this year. The suspects have been seen on home video surveillance going driveway to driveway, pulling car door handles and entering all unlocked vehicles. We're told the suspects have stolen numerous pistols, rifles, hunting gear, tools, electronic devices such as laptops and cell phones, cash, and prescription pills. If you know who these suspects are, call Crime Stoppers. Their number is on your screen. And if your anonymous tip leads to an arrest, you could get a $2,500 reward.
We have a traffic alert for Hinds County drivers. Trotter Road will be closed for a bridge replacement project, and Anderson Road will be closed for bridge repairs and will reopen in approximately 2 weeks. From a small farming town north of the Jackson metro area, Madison has already grown into a bustling suburbia, but now the mayor's office is taking it a step further.
For almost 40 years, Madison has aimed to transform downtown into a thriving square filled with businesses. And 12 News' Alex Love joins us in the studio now, breaking down the project for us. Alex?
You bet. They're calling it Madison at Main. It will bring many things, creating a whole village at the heart of the city, revolutionizing the way downtown Madison sits on the map. Powered by Mayor Mary Hawkins Butler, the first walls of the old Madison Ridgeland High School were torn down, where the first phase of Madison at Main will be built.
The gym will be retrofitted as a performing arts building, and then the two-story existing building will become the new Madison City Hall.
It's really nice to not have to drive really far away to go to shopping and dining, especially we all have little ones, and so being able to just kind of have everything all in one place is going to be really nice.
This new Performing Arts Center will house 1,000 seats. Behind it, another 17 acres of land will be developed into blocks of eateries and shopping builders say you won't find anywhere else.
What we'll try to do is look for national retailers and local retailers, a number of which you'd have to go to, New York or Atlanta or other places, sit down table restaurants, fast casual.
The development will also focus on growing more real estate in downtown, with condos and townhomes brought up in the square, along with a 125-room boutique hotel.
A lot of my company comes from out of town, so we need hotels and everything, and having some nice spots to bring the kids is always a plus.
We have a shortage of hotels here in actual Madison. People that are coming to visit, this is just going to be another destination to draw tax dollars, all of that comes with growth and development.
The first phase of the construction to replace the school campus is expected to take off at this time next year, costing $100 million for the private development alone.
What the city is looking to do, given bonds that would be issued after the development pieces are in place, there's probably $20 million of infrastructure, which is predominantly parking decks, streets, storm sewer.
The full development is predicted to employ up to 1,000 people when open. A multi-level parking garage is also on schedule to go up. Byron?
Thank you, Alex. Well, today, city leaders broke ground on a new Steak and Shake.
12 News' Walt Grayson has more. Walt?
Well, that's right, Melanie. You can see them breaking ground with their shovels right behind me. The restaurant will go up on Hempstead Boulevard. That's just off Interstate 20, and it's the second location for Steak and Shake in Jackson. This is a part of the ongoing growth in the Clinton area also, and it's expected to open up this fall and could bring at least about 30 jobs to the area. Now let's take a look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Ken South. Ken?
All right, thank you, Walt. We are going to see increasing clouds for tomorrow. Eventually, those clouds will lead to not only rain, but stormy, severe weather by late Friday and over the first half of the weekend. And even more rain in the forecast for next week. You'll see that wet 8-day forecast coming up next. You're watching 12 News.
Still ahead, several inches of rain breaks records over the past few months. How crews are working to prevent backwater flooding in the Delta. Thanks for watching 12 News at 10. We'll be right back.